Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, August 26th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION-NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and I'll get into the starting lineups. Happy Monday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, the former Seattle Mariner, Jose Caballero. And on the right, the former Tampa Bay Ray, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, baby. Now let's get into the starting lineup here first for the visiting Tampa Bay Rays. Leading off for the Rays in left field, Dylan Carlson. Batting second, playing first base, Brandon Lowe. Batting third, DHing for Tampa Bay, Junior Caminero. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, second baseman, Christopher Morel. Batting fifth, playing right field for the Rays, Josh Lowe. Batting sixth, playing center field, Johnny DeLuca. Batting seventh, playing third base, Jose Caballero. Batting eighth, catching tonight for the Rays, Ben Rortvedt. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Tampa Bay, Taylor Walls. And on the mound for the Rays with a 7-5 record, an ERA of 3.65, it is Brian Pipio. All right, baby. And now let's get to the starting lineups of your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at first base, Luke Raley. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, catching tonight for the Mariners, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing second base for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, DHing tonight for the Mariners, Justin Turner. Batting seventh, playing third base, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Batting eighth, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Seattle, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 9-7 record, an ERA of 3.32, it is Miller time. Bryce Miller. Go, Bryce. We need a good outing here today. Let's pitch 6 or 7 strong innings. Let's get it, baby. And we'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we're going to be shooting on 100 on the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, we want to make sure we're going over mental health. You know, addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that not only I've gone through, but I know some of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. But if you make some minor adjustments to your daily routine, hold yourself accountable, know your triggers, and understand that if you put out the effort and you exercise a little more, you eat a little bit healthier, right? You listen to music, you spend time with friends, family, and your pets, you'll come out the other side a lot quicker, and you can help yourself win the day. Let's go, baby. Tampa Bay Rays, Seattle Mariners. First pitch here in roughly 5 minutes. Megan with a fiver to get us started right out of the gate. Seahawks D in the fantasy draft. Well, especially if you're a Seahawk fan, you're going to sprinkle in some of those Seahawk players, either kicker, defense, or maybe some of those quarterbacks, running backs, or wide receivers. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, on the little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang, $5 holla. Appreciate you. 95 to go. And, yeah, I'm thinking about a particular day that I want to be able to do the NWSF fantasy draft. We've been doing it, I believe this is going to be our 8th year. So I'm thinking that I got 2 days I'm thinking of. I'm thinking either Thursday, because that's when the Mariners have a day off. Dodgers and Orioles are playing, but we do need to get the fantasy draft done before, obviously, the following Thursday, because that's when you end up having the Ravens and Chiefs. So I'm thinking either this Thursday or the following Tuesday at the very latest. If I have to skip a Mariner game against the Athletics a couple days before kickoff, so be it. So I'll kind of talk with some of y'all, and we'll figure that, Megan and Matt, I assume that you two are in. Reflect is in. Sarah is in. So I'm going to have 5 individuals. And obviously, I'll get everybody's email when the time is right. And I'll send out those notifications since we have a lot of people in different time zones. And we'll try to figure out what would be the best day that we could do it together as a group. But as of today, I believe I'm only going to need 5 spots since we already have last year's winner, myself, and then a few of y'all that are, regular loyals to the soils that are in here. And again, I'm always going to have a couple females in the room, no matter what, as far as the league. It's good to be able to have a little bit of variety, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this year's 2024 NWSF Fantasy Football Draft, and I'm going to bring it, and I know everyone else is going to bring it in the room as well. We're at 5. Let's get to 95 to go. If you do have a Twitter/X account and want to do your boy a solid and like and retweet the post, it definitely has helped, and it'll get us more people in the room. And more importantly, if you can smash the like button for me as early as possible, if we can get 20 within the first hour, it hits the algorithm and the metrics. And then when people are looking up games to watch, or they're looking up either Tampa Bay or Seattle, we might end up being the first choice. They get the recommendation on their phone or on their tablet or computer, and then we can end up getting possibly more subs, more views, and possibly more donos, and more importantly, maybe some new members to the NWSF, and that would always be great, right? Let's get it. Wow, really? How are you? Awesome. There you go. Heck yeah. And I know you'll post photos of that once you get that in the mail. Yeah, I'm thinking if I was going to do it this Thursday, I was thinking, probably a late, so that way it would help everyone out based off the time zones. So if I did it at like 6 or 7 o'clock, I believe when you do a fantasy draft, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, I believe. I don't think it's 3. I think we can get through the picks usually within a couple hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I was thinking, sometime between 5, 6, 7 p.m. Pacific would be probably ideal. Maybe 6 p.m. Pacific on either Thursday or the following Tuesday, which would be Friday for you and a few hours earlier for Matt, depending on when I do it. But we'll try to figure out a good time for everyone that's going to be involved. Captain Aereo in the building. What's good? Let's go Mariners. Let's get it. Let's go, baby. And let me know what you guys want to do what do you want to do for photos, Megan? You want to just go off with the regulars to start off, and then we'll just go from there. And then obviously we have a few minutes here until we get into game time. So let's start it off here. See if I can sprinkle in a few photos of your regulars here. And yourself, because you want to be in it as well, right? I assume you want to be in it too, right? You said you wanted to be able to see if you could hang with the big boys and the big girls in the fantasy ranks. You haven't done it in a while, but you've done it before. So obviously, if you want to be able to be attached to something like that and have a little competitive juices flowing, so we're only going to need about 5 people. So. See if I can squeeze in one more. Appreciate you. We're at 5, 95 to go. And this is going to be a tough series. Again, both of these teams are almost identical records, 65 and 65 for the Tampa Bay Rays. The only difference is they're 4th in their division in the AL East. We're 66 and 65, one extra win, and we're 2nd in the AL West. But again, we just got to, keep praying that the Astros are going to drop some games from time to time. But it just seems like more times than not, the Astros find a way to win, but it looks like the Phillies do us a favor and win 3-2-10. Thank you, Philadelphia. Now we just have to do our part and start stacking up wins on games that should be, close. It's no guarantee that either team is going to sweep, and there's no guarantee, you're going to get 2 out of 3, but you would think the way that the Mariners have been playing as of late, that it's a very good possibility with Dan Wilson managing the team. The expectation should be 2 wins out of 3. Worst case scenario, 1. But obviously, we're shooting for the sweep, but we don't want to get greedy, and we just want to take it game by game. So, we want to shoot for 2 for 3. But if we end up winning the first 2 games, then obviously saying, hey, we're going for the sweep, that's appropriate. So hopefully we can end up winning at least 2 out of 3. And then same thing goes with the Angels and the Athletics. And I'm excited to see where this goes here tonight. PJ in the building. Let's go Mariners. Let's go, baby. And on the mound for the Mariners, our 4th best pitcher, 9-7 record, ERA of 3.32. It's Miller time. Bryce Miller. Let's go, baby. And I got a lot more confidence in Bryce Miller than I do in Luis Castillo. But as of right now, Brian Wu is by far the best pitcher on the Mariners staff right now. Then Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, and then obviously Luis Castillo. And some of those guys will be interchangeable. But I'm definitely excited to see, if we can get the run support late in the season. It's still not looking great with 30 plus games to go. But if the Astros start losing and we can start getting some sweeps or winning 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, there's going to be a small chance that we get the last spot in the playoffs. And if we get in, anything is possible. But as of right now, even with Houston's loss today against Philadelphia, they're the better team. Right now, we were big brother in the early part of the year. Now we're little brother looking back up, at usually the Rangers or the Astros. And injuries have been tough. The bullpen pitching has been terrible. And again, if we can just find the right combination of hitters and also stop getting injured with guys like Victor Robles, JP Crawford, Julio, and we can have a little bit of consistency in the lineup, anything is possible. But again, right now, Houston is heavily favored to probably make that last spot. We're going to be battling it out with Boston as well. So all we can do is just do our game, and hopefully things will turn out well for the Seattle Mariners. All we want to do is compete and get some respect, not only from AL West foes, MLB fans across the globe, but we just want to get into the dance. We haven't been to the playoffs that many times in the last few years. Leading off for the Rays, left fielder Dylan Carlson. Let's go, baby. And if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. 213 average, 3 homers, 20 ribbies to Carlson. First pitch from Miller to Carlson, right in the bucket for a strike. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. And I appreciate Sarah, Joey P, and a few others for liking some of the posts through social media on Instagram, Twitter/X, and others. 0-1 pitch from Miller to Carlson. Pitch is low and at the dirt. Good save by Cal Raleigh. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, we're already past the double-digit mark on the likes. We're at 11. Now we're at 13. Now we need 7 more, and we're already at the goal for 20. So about half of the people in the room have done it already, and I know the other half are on their way. Appreciate you guys. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dylan Carlson. Cornbum in the building. How are you? Tough loss today against the Phillies, but obviously, as you know, when you see us lose, it's always a good feeling when you can gain a little bit of ground against a rival in the division. But anyone that's going to play Philadelphia, regardless if you're the Astros, the Mariners, or even the Dodgers, tough opponent. The Philadelphia might be able to go all the way or make a very, very deep run. So that's always going to be a very competitive matchup, regardless if they're healthy or not. Pitch right down in the bucket to Carlson, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. All right, no worries. If a couple people got to step away, do some errands, still going to call this game, and I feel we have a good chance here today. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is on the corner. Let's go, baby. Right out of the gates with a K, and I love that. Nice job. It's Miller time, baby. Let's go. And normally, when you can get off to a good start with Bryce Miller, he'll be at 4 to 6 Ks within the first 2 to 3 innings. And then you're probably having a solid outing. But when he gives up 1 to 4 runs within the first 2, then it's going to be a long, long night. Unless we get 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits to help him, then the game is essentially over. But our record is ridiculous when we get to 4 runs. It's like something wild, like 51 and 10. So it's like we do win 90% of the time when we hit 4 or more. But that's just been the problem. It's really tough for us to get to 4 runs. But when we get there, it's very hard to beat us. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count for Brandon Lowe. 0-2 count from Bryce Miller. .244 average this season. Highest since 2021 for Lowe. And they got 2 Lows on the team. Brandon as well as Josh. 4 hits and 3 doubles in the last series against the Dodgers, a key component of giving them everything that they had to handle in Tampa Bay. But we should be able to strike out guys like Brandon Lowe. Not saying that he's a bad player, but should be able to get past him. Let's see here. 1-2 pitch from Miller to Lowe. Smoke him. Got him. There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. 2 batters, 2 Ks, right out of the gate. Let's go, baby. Separate yourself from Luis Castillo. We already know you're closer to Gilbert, Kirby, and Wu. I like it. Nice job, Bryce. It's Miller time, baby. Way to bring that electricity right out of the gates. We need that. Let's go. Next up for the Rays, DHing for Tampa Bay, Junior Caminero. .302 average, 2 homers, and 4 ribbies this season for Junior. Oh, both of those choices would be really good. Gambit is always fire. Anything Marvel or DC is incredible. And then again, if you have something for Star Trek or Star Wars, and you actually have like a whole kind of outfit plan, you could do the Captain Pike thing too. So that's going to be a tough call. Right down the middle for a strike. The Junior Caminero, 1 ball and 2 strikes, but I think either one would be good. Sounds like you probably have more of a uniform or costume to do the Captain Pike as far as once you get all of those materials at your house. So that might be an easier transition unless you want to spend more money on the Gambit whole outfit unless you have one already. Another punch out there by Bryce Miller. Man, he's on fire, baby. I like that. 3 up and 3 down, and not only that, 3 Ks? Golly, is it Bryce Miller's birthday? Go get him a Miller Lite 40. Wow, let's go. Nice job, Bryce. And this is one of the best starts that he's had this season. And, normally when he's hot, he'll start 5 out of 6 batters, he'll get Ks on, or he'll go 6 out of 6 if he's really having a lights out night. But so far, so good. What an electric start there for Bryce Miller. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle in the bottom of the first. Still no Victor Robles, so that's day to day. Seems like his finger, it's healing nicely. We may see him in a couple days. J.P. Crawford, getting a little time with some swings in the Seattle organization. Tentative timetable return August 30th, but it may be sooner. So I'm excited to see once we get a fully healthy lineup of JP and Victor, we're going to be even better. Leading off for the Mariners at first base, Luke Raley. Batting second, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. So he was at DH. They had him at center field, and they put him back at DH, and then he had a shit game, and then now they're putting him back in center field, and I feel that's the way to go. As long as he feels that he's 90 to 100% and he can run the bags and he can chase down big pop-ups and rob home runs, that's what we need. We don't need an injured Julio in the outfield. And if you feel like you're good to go, we're going to need your bat, but we're going to need your defense too. And batting third, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Best player on the team, hands down, in 2024. And the most clutch player that we have in the seventh inning and beyond. And he is due for a home run, just like Julio Rodriguez. Will we get home runs tonight from Julio and Cal? I hope so. Let's get it, baby. And on the mound for the Rays with a 7-5 record and ERA of 3.65, it is Ryan Pipio. First pitch to Luke Raley is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Let's go, Luke. We need you, baby. Bring that hustle like you always bring offensively and defensively. Pitch there in the bucket for a strike right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the last 17 games, Luke Raley, 283 average, 5 homers, 13 ribbies with over 1,000 in OPS. And that's what you want to see out of a guy like Luke with, him and Hollywood Josh Rojas. They were good in April and May, not so much in June and July. So it's nice to be able to see them kind of get back to their earlier ways here in August. Let's go, Raley. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And Pipio got him. Down goes Luke Raley. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you. Trident's up. And again, it's not the season that anyone anticipated, even yourself, but all you can do is just be patient in the box. Let the game come to you. And I feel that, out of all the hitters in the lineup, this is definitely by far the most disappointing, just because we know this guy can be a Hall of Fame player, an all-star almost every single year. He can be a top dog offensively and defensively, but the big weakness in his game is just patience in the box and being able to see, the baseball correctly and being able to have that patience to understand that every pitcher pitches him inside to try to jam him. And then if they don't jam him inside, they go way outside to him, right? And they try to bait him on a bad pitch. And a lot of times he swings at that garbage. Morel is out there, popped up, 2 away. I mean, if we could just get you to work the count a little bit better, how much more would your batting average go up? It would be closer to 300 rather than 200, believe you me. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity to the lineup, and I wouldn't mind seeing 1 or 2 of these this series. You got the ability to hit not only 1, but 2 in a game. Let's go, big dumper, best nickname in baseball, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Set the tone, baby. That one fouled off, behind in the count 0-2. Yeah, I was not surprised with the CD Lamb. Jerry Jones always wants to, make comments in the media, acting like he doesn't care about the players. And, CD Lamb, I'm not really worried about the contract lie. And then all of a sudden they end up giving him like the second highest per year average to Jay Jetta. So, and usually the guy that gets the new contract ends up being the new number 1. So what happened there, CD, with your agent? Again, you put up numbers just like Jay Jetta, you're going to have a better quarterback this year. I don't know how, when you have the new deal, you don't surpass someone that already has an old deal. But good for CD Lamb of getting paid. The real question is Dak Prescott going to be the quarterback for the Cowboys in years to come, or are they going to move on and go a different direction? And as sure as hell ain't Trey Lance, I'll tell you that. Top of the first, bottom of the first, 0-2 pitch, PPO to Raleigh. Pitch is low and at the knees and into the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sarah with $1. We're at 6 now, 94 to go. Appreciate you. No worries. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. me know what you want to do for a photo. And I got you, Zay, in the building. What's good? Pitch right down the middle for strike 3 to Cal Raleigh. 3 up and 3 down. PPO doing his thing as well. Anything you want to see specifically, Sarah? Cardinals, Colts, Iowa Hawkeyes. You got something? You let me know. I got you. Next up for the Rays, second baseman, former Cub, Christopher Morel. Batting second, right fielder in the 5-hole, Josh Lowe. And batting third, center fielder in the 6-hole, Johnny DeLuca. Let's go, baby. And we're only one like away from 20 in the first hour, in the first 25 minutes. So if you are one of the 15 or 16 people that are in the room that haven't smashed the like button yet, we only need one more, and then we're at 20. And then once we move on from 20, we're going to try to go from 30 to 50. And I appreciate every single one of y'all showing that love and support. Let's go, baby. We're already there. Good start. Okay, I got you. It's always good when you can get a stud defensive player, that can make big plays. And not only that, this is going to be one of the top 2, if not top 3, defensive standouts that are going to be going for, defensive rookie of the year. And, going into the season, he might be the favorite to win the award. So definitely excited about, defensive gems. You've had Dwight Freeney, you've had Robert Mathis, you've had a few others. And Latu is going to join that circle now. Pretty cool. Next up here for the Rays, Christopher Morel. Takes the ball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. One-zero pitch from Miller to Morel. Pitch is low at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. Lauren in the building. What's good? Appreciate that. 2-0 pitch to Morel. Pitch there in the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. For Bryce Miller to Christopher Morel, the longtime Chicago Cub. All right, sounds good, Lauren. Looking forward to it. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Oh, fun fact. I like fun facts. Anything sport or wrestling related. And speaking of wrestling, rest in peace, Psycho Sid and Sid Vicious. Passed away today. One of my OG all-time faves as far as big men. Battled cancer. Just, couldn't get past it. And his son posted on social media that his dad passed away early this morning. Rest in peace, Psycho Sid. Rest in peace, Sid Vicious. Ah, that's cool. 40 years. Top of the second, 0-0, Rays and Mariners. Next up in the box is Josh Lowe. First pitch at the knees to Lowe, 1-0 count. And most people don't have, Sid Vicious or Psycho Sid like t-shirts, action figures. It's pretty rare. But believe it or not, I actually ended up getting one way back in the day. I only have one, but I still own it to this day. Kind of cherish that thing, because again, there's always going to be guys like Undertaker that are going to be like more popular for like big guys from back in the day. But there was always something about Psycho Sid Vicious, whether it was WWF or WCW or even his short run in '99 in ECW. He was very entertaining. 2-0 pitch from Miller to Lowe. Pitches outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Come on, Bryce. Throw a strike here. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 count. Let's go, baby. Three-one pitch. Low. Crushes that. Back. Gone. And Josh Lowe just homered to right center, 437 feet. Goodbye. Tampa Bay 1, Seattle Mariners 0. Tough. Crushed the shit out of that one, Josh. Next up, center fielder Johnny DeLuca. 8th home run of the year there. See, that's the thing. You got to stop bringing bad juju to the channel. Saying you got beef with Josh Lowe, and then all of a sudden you make that in the chat, and then boom, home run. Not good. Bad karma, bad juju. That's what happens when you're negative. When you end up being negative, the sports gods, they hear it, they look at it, they see the comment, and then boom shakalaka, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Come on, Storm Bum. You got to keep those comments to yourself. Top of the second, 1-0 Tampa. 1 out, 1-0 count from Miller to DeLuca. DeLuca, slow roll dribbler. Rivas, Garelli, 2 away. See, I know you weren't, right? But the sports god saw that. So you got to be more positive like me, talking about we need to be bunting more often. And then lo and behold, what happens 2 days later? The Little League World Series is decided by a bunt. When is the last time you've seen a championship game decided by a bunt? Fucking never. The sports gods definitely listen to this fucking channel because there's no other channels that were going over the importance of bunting like we were in the last few days. And then all of a sudden the Little League World Series, they have a bunt to win the whole thing? Crazy. Top of the second, 1-0 Tampa. Nobody on. Next up, the former Mariner, Jose Caballero. I don't know. I think it's just kind of creepy, though. It's like as soon as we talk about something, then it happens. Like, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10. Sometimes it happens right away in the game that we're calling. Sometimes it happens like a quarter later, or it might happen a day or two later. But it's like I've never seen a championship in college, right? The World Series or in the Little League World Series that a bunt ended up being the game-winning play. I don't know. That kind of creeped me out as soon as I saw that, but it made me smile at the same time. Big swing and a miss from Jose Caballero. Bang! Got him. There we go, Bryce. Another K for Mr. Miller. It's Miller time, baby. Nice job, Bryce. Good start. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no walks, 4 Ks. Nice job, Bryce. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the bottom of the second. Next up for the Mariners in the 4-hole, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Going against his former team. Same thing with Luke Raley. Batting second in the 5-hole, second baseman Jorge Polanco. And batting third, DHing for Seattle, Justin Turner. Let's go Mariners. Suicide squeeze bunts. Takes some skill to do that. Nice job, the toast. All right, we gained another sub. There we go. 89 to go to 20,500. And we just broke 20,400. And then we're off to a good start to get to 20,500 sooner than later. Let's go. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's try to get to 30 within the first hour and a half. Let's see where we're at right now. We got off to a very good start. We are at, what are we at, 22? All right, we need 8 more to get to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we're at 23. 7 more to get to 30, and then we're coasting the rest of the stream. And at that point, then the algorithm will hit. We'll get more recommendations on the channel. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Let's go, Randy. We need a big series out of you and Luke Rayleigh. Let's go, baby. And plus, I put you on the thumb, with Jose Caballero. So we got, the former Ray, right, being a Mariner now, and the former Mariner being a Ray. So, we would assume that both of these guys are going to be pressing a little bit to have a good series. But hopefully they don't press too much and have a bad series. But we'll see how it goes. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't know. I just like the little aspects of the game in basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR. Just things that are like underrated and underappreciated. And I just feel like sometimes, when people get used to doing the same thing over and over, big swing and a miss, and Pipio with the punch out on Randy. But like bunting is such a lost art. I really wish that teams would do it 2 to 4 times for every team that plays. It shouldn't be one of those things where you see a bunt every 3 to 4 games. Sometimes you'll get more than 1 in a game if it's successful, like in the first inning. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 more, sprinkled out throughout the game. But, sometimes we go games, many games, where we don't even see a bunt attempt, or we might see a player pull out the bat, but it doesn't connect, and it ends up being a ball, and then they change their mind. So but I like the underrated things. Catchers being underrated. Offensive line in the NFL and college football, underrated. Defense, underrated. Coaching, play calling, underrated. And hopefully we can get some better umps, where we can end up getting, I don't think I need a robo ump, but I would like a screen right behind, where they actually had the advertising. I want a strike zone screen there. So that way, if there's a challenge on the call, there's a buzzer, the ump turns around, and if the ball is in the strike zone, call reversed. I think that's as simple as it is. You got the T-Mobile bricks. You wouldn't want it there. You would want it where it has the Pacific Office automation and Sharp, either on that left side and right side, maybe have it on 2 different panels. And then if they do that, all you got to do is turn around. You're not talking to fucking LA or New York or with a bunch of sports nerds in a fucking room discussing it. Turn around. There it is. Change the call. Keep it going, and I feel that would make the game work a lot better. Polo, line drive. Wow, is that a home run? Is that a home run? Wow, it hit the pole. No shit. Let's fucking go. Jorge Polanco might have been the shortest homer of his career, 341 feet, but we'll take it. Back, back, back. Gone. See ya. Jorge Polanco. 1-1 Rays and Mariners. See ya later. Nice job, Polo. Way to be. Hit it right on the sweet spot, but I thought it was going to be going more foul, but it hits the inside of the pole and then actually ricochets fair. Wow, that was crazy. We'll take it, though. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Justin Turner. But let's be honest, as Mariner fans or fans of this channel, how many times have we seen a Mariner, home run or foul ball go the other way, where we get ripped off, where it was a homer and they call it foul, or the other team ends up getting a homer on us in that same situation. Diving catch in right field. Unbelievable. You got to be shitting me, man. Josh Lowe hitting a home run and then diving to make a big play from right field. Full extension Superman. Wow. Good defense by Josh Lowe. I see you. Next up for the Mariners, in the bottom of the second, nobody on, 2 outs, 1-1 game. Pipio, 23 pitches in, 0-1 pitch to Hollywood Josh Rojas. Check swing, back to the bricks, behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Josh. There we go. Nice job, Hollywood Josh Rojas. And the thing is, I think with Scott Service, there was this mentality, left-handed pitcher, right-handed lineup. And again, Dan Wilson is the opposite. He'll let whatever happens. And of course, if we have injuries, having a lefty on a lefty or a righty on righty, it doesn't take away anything. If the hitter is good, they're going to find a way. And one of the key hits that we had in the previous series is Rojas, being left going against a lefty when they could have had a righty, and it ended up working out. And again, I feel like with Scott Service, he was always too, methodical with it, and he would never do the opposite. He would always be like, okay, left-handed pitcher, heavy right-handed lineup, 8 out of 9 guys. And then if it was a right-handed pitcher, we're going to have 6 guys that are left in the lineup. Like, just have the best lineup, regardless if they're a lefty or a righty, and have faith that they're going to come through. And remember, we got a couple guys that are switch hitters that can go left or right also. So I like what Dan Wilson is doing, and it's going to instill more confidence in guys that have been in a little bit of a low point lately, like Hollywood Josh Rojas. I like being able to see his confidence and his mental health go in the positive direction. Next up is Dominic Canzone. Throw to first to keep Rojas honest. He is safe, as the Seattle Mariner fans boo in the crowd. Bottom of the second, 1-1 Rays and Mariners. Runner at first, 2 outs, 1 ball and 1 strike from PPO to Canzone. Canzone chops that one foul behind the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go, Dom. One-two pitch. Pitch is in the dirt. Stolen bag attempt by Rojas. Safe. That's what I'm talking about, baby. 8th bag for Rojas. There we go. And again, if this was earlier, within the last, month, 2 months, when Service was managing, Rojas probably gets out there, just based on how things were going lately for him. So I like this new type of confidence I'm seeing out of Hollywood Josh Rojas. There we go, Dom. Keep it going, baby. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second. Rojas with 2 outs. 1-1 game. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Dominic Canzone. Stolen bag for nothing, but good effort. And let's go here to the top of the third. Well, everyone loves Dan Wilson. I mean, again, it's, being a fan favorite. He was the one that got a lot of the work with Randy Johnson, the big unit, Ken Griffey Jr., and back in that era. And again, even though you don't have the experience that maybe some other Mariner fans wanted, you're not going to be able to get a guy with a lot of that experience because they're managing other teams right now. They haven't been fired at the end of the year. So I really feel that if we can hang on to Dan next year, we don't even have to get a new manager. Keep Edgar as a hitting coach. Maybe ask Ichiro if he'll help when he's got the time. And then just keep building the squad. We still got Manny Acta at third base, who's got some coaching experience in the Dominican Republic. So, I mean, we essentially have 3 coaches. You got Manny Acta, you got, Edgar Martinez, and you got Dan Wilson and all the other guys on the staff. But the overall vibes are much, much better. And anytime you end up having a head coach, for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, and depending on how you're winning or if you feel like you're, need for a change, sometimes, it's kind of run its course and you already know everything about the guy. You know his strengths, you know his weaknesses, and, the fan base has been calling for Service and Dipoto for like a long time, for like, pretty much since we ended up getting to the playoffs. But if we didn't get to the playoffs in 2022, there would have been a lot of people whining and moaning and griping. Why do we still have this guy? But he saved himself a couple more years by actually making the playoffs with Cal Raleigh, with the walk-off against the A's in 2022. First time he made the playoffs in 20 plus years. So that saved him a couple more years. But I think a lot of us Mariner fans were thinking this is enough is enough. We're looking for something new and different. And I haven't really heard anybody that says, man, I wish Scott was still back, or I wish we still had Scott here. And it's not like I think he's a terrible manager. I think he's kind of, in the middle of the pack, somewhere maybe between 20 and 25 out of 30, but sometimes strategy-wise, we felt like he was the worst. And that's a big part of baseball. It's not only your vibe and your aura, which he was a little too soft and a little too passive. We like guys like Lou Piniella, that might get angry and pick up the base and throw it at the ump, or get into somebody's face, and Scott wasn't that type of guy. And I feel that we need to be able to have a manager that, can have some fire, but can be reserved. But the most important thing is having connection with the players. And from what I've heard, their connection with the players wasn't with everyone. So some players had a better connection with Scott Service than others. And I think Dan Wilson is making an effort with Edgar to try to build something as a group together where no one feels left out. Next up there for the Rays is Ben Rortvedt. Top of the third, 1-1 Rays and Mariners, nobody on. 1-2 pitch from Miller to Rortvedt. Let's go Mariners. One-two pitch from Miller to Rortvedt, popped up. Easy flight out to center to Julio Rodriguez. There we go. One away. Good defense side by Julio. Good job, my guy. No fly zone. Can't wait for Victor Robles to come back. Next up, Taylor Walls. First pitch to Walls. Crushed foul. Behind the count, 0-1. MSU in the building. What's good? Anna from Mexico in the building. Go Mariners. Oh, 1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, we need Randy to have a good game, man. 1-1 pitch. Miller to Walls. And I'm really happy that Polo responded. Because, again, we don't want to leave Bryce Miller pitching like an ace, and then we're not doing anything in return. And that's really been the problem with the Mariners. To be able to get the most out of these pitchers, we need to be able to get a full team effort. Pitching, starting, bullpen, obviously to close the game out, right? And then obviously timely hitting, big key home runs, and just being able to get consecutive hits a few times within a game where you get 2, 3, 4 guys or more with consecutive hits, but a lot easier said than done. Big swing and a miss for Walls. 3-2 count. Count is full from Bryce Miller to Taylor Walls. Top of the third, 1-1 Tampa and Seattle. Nobody on, 1 out. 3-2 pitch from Miller to Walls. Got him. Let's go, baby. Rang him up. Sit him down, baby. I like that. Couple nice fastballs by Bryce Miller. It's Miller time, baby. Keep it going. Bryce pacing himself for 8 to 10 Ks today, and that's what we want to see. Bring that electricity. You're better than Luis Castillo. You remember that. He's our worst pitcher in the starting staff by far. You're number 4. And if we're going to be honest, lately, you've been better than Kirby. Kirby's been getting Mitch Garver and has had tough opponents, like Skubal and whatnot, hasn't really come back around. But, if we're talking about, right now, Brian Wu is the best pitcher for us right now. Logan Gilbert 2, probably Bryce 3. George Kirby is 4, but he'll be back up to number 1, number 2, probably in a few outings. And then Luis Castillo sitting in the 5 spot. I got confidence in all the guys except Luis, and like I said, for Miller, it was about 50-50. But as of late, it's been more like the other guys like Wu, Kirby, and Gilbert for the most part, where you have 80-90% confidence. For Miller, it was 50-50 for a while, but I think he's upped it a little bit now where it's 70-30, where you feel pretty good when he's on the mound. But with Castillo, it's the complete opposite. I have 20% faith that he's going to come through. There we go. Luke Raley to the bag with a little toe tapper, tiptoeing in my Jordans. And we're going to go to the bottom of the third, 1-1, Rays and Mariners. Hell yeah, man. Love me some Skubal, man. And it's cool to be able to have fans
that are hardcore fanatics for other teams. So that way, when they end up joining the stream, it's not going to be just a Seattle Mariners stream like everyone else's. We're going to actually make sure that it's going to be a Mariners stream and whoever we're playing. And that way, we're going to make sure we're appreciating the greatness and the great plays on both sides. And then you end up meeting, some people that will be a part of this channel long term and some that are not a fit, and we'll clearly be able to tell who those individuals are right out of the gates, usually within the first couple comments. All right, let's see what's up next here in the bottom of the third. In the 9-hole, shortstop Leo Rivas. Batting second, first baseman Luke Raley. And batting third, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Trident's up, and you've been getting closer and closer of getting a home run, and it just feels like, when is it going to happen? Cal Raleigh and Julio are overdue. I would love to see Julio homer here today or tomorrow, or at least within this particular series against Tampa Bay. Let's go, baby. We're at 6, 94 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We're almost at 30. You guys are doing awesome so far. We only need 2 more within 9 minutes, and we're at 30. And then from there, we're coasting the rest of the stream to get 30, 40, 50, 60, and we're only 2 away. Hell yeah. And it looks like we have, how many? 14 that haven't smashed it yet. And again, we're getting a good global audience. Some may speak English, some may not, but they are baseball fans. But if you could do your boy a solid and smash that like button that's in front of you on your phone, tablet, or computer, if it's the only one thing that you do today, if you don't chat or if you don't donate or share, at least smashing the like button will get more people here and help grow the brand, and it would be greatly appreciated. Let's go, baby. Most wins in a one-run games this season, the Rays, 24, first place with the Diamondbacks, but number 2, Seattle Mariners with 23. But again, we just have to be able to get 4 runs or more, because when we get 1 to 3 runs, we got like 4 wins and 40 losses. When we get 4 runs or more, we have like 50 wins and like 10 losses. So there is a huge gap between 1 and 3 and 4 or more. And again, the standard in 2022 and 2023 was 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits. And now we've gone down a whole run and we still can't get there. But hopefully things will get better in these last 30 plus games as well as next year. Bottom of the third, 1-1 Rays and Mariners, nobody on. 1-1 count from PPO to Leo Rivas. And Rivas has done pretty good considering he's been filling in for JP Crawford. Lebanon in the building. Biggie. What's good, my guy? Hell yeah, Lebanon. I like that. I was born in Hood River and lived near the Dalles in Hood River. I was born in the Dalles, lived in Hood River, for like the first 5 years of my life, where they did all like the professional windsurfing and all that stuff. And then ended up moving to the Beaverton area, kind of near the Nike campus. Spent there for quite some time. And then, traveled around, did Canby High School, Aloha High School. Lived in Wilsonville right out of graduating, and I've kind of bounced around in different spots and whatnot. But that's awesome, man. Welcome to the channel. Not sure if you've been here before or have checked us out, but appreciate you. And, let us know a little bit about you. Who do you represent? Who are your sport teams? What's good, my guy? Bottom of the third, 1-1 Tampa and Seattle. Nobody on, 1 out. 0-1 pitch to my guy, Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. And one thing about Luke that I absolutely love is his hustle on every play. Luke broke his bat. Back. Wow, catch is made. Why is Josh Lowe making all these goddamn plays? It must have been Storm Bum in that comment earlier on. I hate Josh Lowe. I hate this guy. I hate him, he said multiple times in the chat. And then like 5 seconds later, he hit a home run and then makes a big catch there in the outfield. Come on, Josh Lowe. Ducks, Seahawks, Mariners. Nice. Well, we're 2 out of 3. I'm Ducks, I'm Mariners. And again, I'm a defensive guy. So, back in the, mid-90s, Hawks didn't really have the defense for me. Neither did the Niners. And I didn't want to be a Niner bandwagon fan, even though I did love, Montana, Rice, and Steve Young, and a lot of the guys that were there. I love Dion on the Niners. That's my favorite Dion of all time. But I wasn't going to hop on the bandwagon of 5 championships and be like, look at me, So I decided to wait 1 more year. Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks were drafted by Tampa. I watched him in college at the U in Florida State. John Lynch was already there. I already liked his style. Mike Allstott, Rondé Barber. And I said, you know what? This Tampa Bay Buccaneer team is exactly who I am as my personality. And then that's really the only team I represent that's not in the West Coast. Slow dribbler. There we go. We'll take that, Julio. But a lot of the people are going to be, but I am also Kraken too. So obviously Ducks, right? Mariners, Kraken. But I still follow the Hawks almost every single game just because everyone that lives in Oregon and Washington typically does, because that's really the only sport team that we have on the NFL here. Wow. Jose Caballero with an error. A little bit of pressure there. Nice job, Julio. We'll take that. Slow roller for an error by Jose, the former Mariner. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. But there's a lot of Seahawk Mariner fans or Seahawk Kraken fans or Seahawk Mariner Kraken fans as well as the Sonics. So very cool, man. Welcome to the channel. Oh, it's not if you hope they are, they will. You know, this is the highest that we've been ranked in a long, long time. Slow roller by Cal. Fair. Wow. All the way to third base and bounces in fair. Hell yeah. Nice job, Cal Raleigh. I mean, they don't got us ranked top 3 for nothing. And if you're in the same boat with Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas, and when Alabama and Michigan lost their head coach, I would say that's, you know, you got to think. Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia are going for the natty. Like, if it's not a natty, it's a failure. I mean, that's really what we're coming down to when you got the top 4. All 4 of those teams have national championship dreams, you know, just like Alabama and Michigan did for all those years. Uh-oh, a Rosarina. Back. See you later. Gone. And that's why I put Randy on the thumb here today. Let's go. 4-1 Mariners. 376 feet. Julio and Cal Raleigh on board. A 3-run jack for our guy, Randy Arozarena. Bye-bye. First home run at T-Mobile, and he waits to play his former team. Nice job, Randy Arozarena. 4-1 Mariners. Fuck yeah. Woo! Next up, second baseman with a solo dinger, Jorge Polanco. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Celebrate, Randy. Give him that trident, baby. Let's go, Zay. Hell yeah. And he's been kind of shitty lately. You know, and it's okay to criticize, you know, we're going to be honest, you know, we can't just give guys a free pass all the time when they haven't, when he first came to the team with Justin Turner, it was great, you know, but then after, like, you know, the realization is like he's on our team, and then it seemed like he kind of just got too relaxed. And then the offense and defense was kind of lackluster, but it seems like he's trying to get back on track. Little slow roller to first by Polo, end of the third inning, but the damage is done by a Randy Arozarena 3-run blast. And you know when the Mariners are doing good is when we're actually getting home runs. There's a lot of games this year where we have none, right? Or we end up getting one late in the 8th or the 9th or the 10th. But you know, when you get 2 home runs from the Mariners within the first 3 innings, there's a very high probability that we'll get at least 1 more and possibly 2 more if we're lucky. Nice job, Randy. End of the third inning, 4-1 Seattle. Fuck yeah, baby. Randy. Hell yeah. Wasn't expecting that. I expected him to have a good series, you know, just like with Jose Caballero, but the only problem is that Randy stepped up to the plate. Jose ended up making an error, and I got both of them on the thumb, and I imagine Jose will make some plays throughout the series, but you know, if he didn't make that error, maybe that would have been a 2-run blast, and it's only 3-1. So for now, thank you, Jose. We'll take it. Let's see who's up next here for the Tampa Bay Rays in the top of the 4th. Next up for the Rays, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman Brandon Lowe. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing for Tampa, Junior Caminero. And batting third, the former Cub, second baseman, Christopher Morel. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. The former Seattle Mariner, Tampa Bay Ray, Jose Caballero, and the former Tampa Bay Ray, Seattle Mariner now, you already know, Randy Arozarena. Nice job, man. Fuck yeah, we needed that. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Let's keep it moving, baby. Sub counts have been growing pretty steadily. We're moving on up. We're at 30. There we go. We just hit the 1 hour mark. And normally we try to shoot for 20, but you guys are so awesome that instead of going for 20 in the first hour, we said, fuck it, we're going to go for 30. And now we're at fucking 31. Fucking Joe Dirt approved. Let's get to 40. Let's go. We're at 31 now. Appreciate you guys. Hell yeah. Next up, Brandon Lowe. 243 average, 16 homers, and 48 ribbies for Brandon. That one chop foul. So if we end up doing the fantasy thing on this Thursday, right, for Sarah, Megan, and Matt, is there a particular time that would work good for you guys? You know, between like 5, 6, 7 p.m. Pacific, since some of y'all are overseas and some of y'all are in different time zones. I was thinking 6 p.m. So that would be like 3 for Matt, and then obviously an okay time, I would believe, for Megan. Not too early, since it'll be Friday. I would assume that would be, you know, probably a okay time or around there. But you guys let me know, and then I'll talk with Reflect, and then we'll go over it tomorrow. Maybe I'll end up making a post, and then, you know, or we'll do a quick short video. And then if I get emails sent to me, then we'll end up having our league. And we're only going to do 10-man league like we normally do. So top of the fourth, 4-1 Seattle. Nobody on, 1 out, 0-1 pitch. The junior, Caminero. Yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific would be 8 for you. Just figured that would be probably the best time for everyone around that time period. Throw to first. Caminero grounded out to the shortstop. 1 away, now 2 away. The defense. Down goes Brandon Lowe. Down goes junior Caminero. Next up, the former Cubs second baseman, Christopher Morel. Yeah, but you're not gonna. Yeah, the thing is, you know, you're gonna go from 12 teams to 16 teams, you know, and then, you know, we'll see if it goes anything above that, like 18 or something like that. But, you know, you just got to get back to recruiting. And you have to realize with the Huskies and what they were able to do, that took a few years to build. And that's not something that's going to happen every single year, you know. And again, you just have to appreciate what you had and those players that you had at that time. And it may take some time, you know, to get back to being that good, or even just be considered, you know, one of the top teams in the Big Ten. It's always going to be tough. You know, you got USC chomping at the bit, trying to be the second best. Then you got Washington and UCLA, and then you're still going to have to battle teams like Iowa and Wisconsin and Penn State. They're not going anywhere. That's their conference, you know. And then obviously Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State, you know. So, you know, you just have to be realistic with it all, you know, unless you have the money or the recruiting, you know, or the transfers, you know. Michael Penix Jr.'s don't grow on trees. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if you're actually noticing, a lot of the Husky players in the NFL are balling out. Like almost every Husky rookie that was drafted that's getting playing time is playing really, really well. Like, you know, Jalen McMillan's on my Bucks, and it looks like he might be wide receiver number 3 with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. That's how good he's been playing. And we got Bucky Irving from Oregon, who looks like he's going to be our RB2 with Rashad White. So, a lot of times people think, oh, the Pac-12 stunk. You guys can't win a championship. But that doesn't mean that we can't produce like good NFL players. And not everyone from the Pac-12 is going to be good. But sometimes the guys, when they come out, if they're elite, sometimes it carries over in them being elite in the NFL too, like Haloti Ngata. Pitch right down the middle. Got him. There we go, Bryce. And Oregon never wins a bowl game. Every time Oregon would play in a bowl game, unless we ended up having like Justin Herbert and it's like in the Rose Bowl, or Marcus Mariota and we're in the Natty, or something like that. Darren Thomas and we're in the Natty. But normally it's like if our team is like maybe second or third in the conference, and then we end up playing someone like, let's say, Iowa State when we played like Brock Purdy, we couldn't even beat him. But a lot of the times where the Ducks players that will potentially go to the NFL for whatever reason, they don't want to get hurt, so they just say fuck it, and then they don't play. So not only do we don't have our best players out there, it feels like the effort is like kind of bullshit, and I don't like the bowl game effort out of the Oregon Ducks. But now with the new format, with the playoffs, and the expectations of winning the Natty or the season is a failure, even if we don't make it to the championship, hopefully that second place game, whether it's like the Rose Bowl or whatever it is, that's what we want to be able to play in if we can't play in the Natty against like Ohio State and Georgia. So maybe the winner of Oregon and Ohio State might go undefeated, and then that will be the team that more than likely plays Georgia in the Natty, unless Georgia ends up slipping a little bit. But obviously Oregon and Texas are going to need a little help to beat Ohio State and Georgia, but we'll see how it all kind of plays out. But hopefully we just get good effort out of the teams that are joining into the Big Ten. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth, 4-1 Seattle. All I know is I just want to be able to see an Oregon Duck national championship and a Seattle Mariner pennant before I die. And it would be really cool if I could get more than one, but I don't want to be greedy. If I only get to see one win, and that's it, my life, I can die a happy man, but I would love to be able to get both of them. And I think that, one day, I think it is possible, that the Mariners, depending on what they do, obviously the Ducks are closer now than the Mariners are, but I like what the Mariners are putting on the table, even though that, we can't hit. But again, we'll get there. We'll get better. And we don't need to be a top 5 hitting team. We only need to be top 15 out of 30. Instead of being bottom 5, just be in the middle. And if we can be in the middle and still have top 3 pitching, we could make a World Series or an ALCS. Now, if we end up being a top 10 hitting team and we're top 3 in pitching, that's when we might win it all. So we're not anywhere near that yet, but depending on what happens, moving forward, if we get rid of Dipoto, maybe it could happen. Turner pops up on a 2-0 count. Lowe is there in right field, says easy peasy lemon squeezy, sit down, 1 away. I see you, Josh. Next up for the Mariners, 1-for-1, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Get that confidence back, get that swagger back, play with that electricity, play free, play loose. And again, defensively started to be a little bit of a liability like Polo, so. Ooh, I don't know about that. That would mean we'd have to be over 9, and we're at 5 right now. And we don't really hit a whole lot of home runs. And we got 2 today. We got 1 solo blast by Polo and a 3-run blast by Randy. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go over 8.5, my guy. I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's also possible things start to slow down a little bit. But things might heat up for Tampa's batters. It's possible, especially if our bullpen stinks. It might take a half inning for them to tie the game up 4-4. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Bottom of the fourth, 4-1 Seattle. But what I do know is when the Mariners hit 4 runs and 7 to 10 hits, we win 90%, of the time, if not 95. And we're already at 4. So chances are we're going to win 2 out of 3 in this series, and we're going to win this opening game if everything goes smoothly and nicely. Yeah, but if I had to say right now, if it's going to go over that, I probably would say no, but you never know. Rojas, there we go. Really, it depends on the bullpen pitching. That's really going to be the determining factor if we get to 9, 10, 11 combined, or if we end up at like 8 or lower. But a nice double there by Hollywood Josh Rojas. Nice job, Josh. 21 multi-hit games this season, second on the team, 17 doubles in 2024. Seems like he's starting to get his swag back. I like that. Next up, right fielder Dominic Canzone. All right, we're at 32. 8 more to go to get to 40. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Let's try to get to that 40 number before the 7th inning. Bottom of the 4th, 4-1 Mariners. Runner at second, 1 out. PPO on the mound, 52 pitches in, 0-1 pitch to Dom. Little slow roller, broken bat, throw to first. 2 away. Rojas into third base. Next up, shortstop, Leo Rivas. If we had 1 out, I would say drop the bunt down and see if we can get Rojas to score. And again, it's just kind of ironic that, I've been talking about the importance of bunting and how important it is. And, when we end up doing it, it could be a big deciding factor in the game. And then lo and behold, a couple days later, the Little League World Series, they win the championship by bunting. Sports gods, they have a funny way of kind of teasing us here, letting us know that they hear us. It's crazy. I've never seen a championship end in a bunt. Just feel it's very ironic that we talk about something and then something so specific as bunting happens in a championship game to win. But again, we know what we're talking about here. We know strategy. And I feel that bunting is a lost art. Sometimes if the throw is wild, you can get a double out of a bunt. Why not do it? Especially if you're one of the number 1 strikeout teams and you got the lowest batting average, 30 out of 30, drop down the fucking bunt. But not everyone can, right? Victor Robles, he tried doing it at the beginning of the game, right? And what happened? He put his finger in the wrong spot. Baseball hit it, boom, almost a broken finger, and then out for a couple games. So again, we want guys to bunt, but they also have to know how to. And that's coaching with like Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, and some of these other guys in the organization. Pitch on the corner for a strike, but called ball. Nah, called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes from PPO. Leo Rivas. This season with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, he's got a 200 average. He's 2 for 10 with 3 ribbies. No homers. Obviously more of like a leadoff 9-hole hitter, kind of like a JP. But I would say without, no outs or 1 out, great time to bunt. I'm not sure if I would bunt on 2 outs though. Leo, there we go. Nice RBI by Leo Rivas. He's really coming into his own, filling in for a guy like J.P. Crawford, which we assume will be back around August 30th. And for a guy that most Mariner fans would be like, this guy sucks, he stinks, he's garbage, he's not going to be able to play the position like J.P. He's actually been pretty good, and he's actually won us a game or 2 so far. Nice RBI single by Leo Rivas. Rojas comes home, 5-1 Mariners. Hell yeah. Next up, first baseman Luke Rayleigh. Now we're at 6. Now that 8.5 bet is starting to look a little bit better, Europe. I don't know. We're at 6 combined. You only need 3 more between the Rays and the Mariners, which actually now seems plausible. Just didn't know if we were going to add on more in this inning. Let's go, baby. And we deserve this, man. We've been getting beat the fuck up. And I get it, only winning 1 or getting swept by the Dodgers. It's tough. But all those other teams that were winnable, White Sox, Tigers, Angels, A's, we really shit the bed. If we would have played the way that we should have, right? Or maybe if we had Dan Wilson earlier, maybe we still have a 5-10 game lead on the Astros. But since, things happen and the injuries and the bullpen have been shitty, obviously the Astros have taken over and we're trying to crawl, scratch, and fight our way back to try to make a fucking wild card. We're not going to win the division. That's very clear, but if we can just get in as the last playoff team, it's going to be tough. But, either us or the Astros to win it, and then who's going to be second place, and then obviously Boston is still playing pretty good ball, so we might end up losing it to them as well. Rayleigh smacks it. Yes, sir. All the way to the wall off a one-hopper. Go, go, go. And Leo Rivas pumps the brakes at third. And we got guys at second and third now with 2 outs. They're going off, baby. Shows you when you get a new manager and everyone likes him, not only the players, but the management, the fans, and then not only the young fans, but the old fans. The young fans don't even know who he is because they didn't watch him. But if you're over 40, like I am, we watched Dan Wilson. Hell, I got a Dan Wilson, Randy Johnson dual bobble from the Mariners giveaway. And, they were linked together. And if we didn't have a guy as good as Dan Wilson, catching for Randy wouldn't have been as good in certain games. And Dan was our best, catcher in Mariner history before we got Cal Raleigh. So, again, it's kind of cool, to be able to see these catchers getting some love and appreciation. My favorite position in baseball. I mean, I love pitchers. I love, great athletic outfielders. But there's just something about the underrated, underappreciated person. And I believe catchers are by far the most underappreciated position in baseball. And it's very hard to have a good one. And if you do have a good one, it'll help your pitching staff out. And again, Cal is the best, got the best nickname, Big Dumper. He's a switch hitter. He can lead the league in home runs as a catcher for all catchers. As his rookie year, 2022, led MLB. 2023, led MLB. And he's on pace to do it again. And I know Adley Rutschman is more popular, but pretty soon we're going to start to see Cal Raleigh and Adley Rutschman in the All-Star game. And one day Cal will even start over the more popular Adley Rutschman. It will happen. But again, we have to make deep runs, and Cal needs to play good in the playoffs so that way he can get more love and pub from the other fan bases that don't really know who he is. Or they know, but they don't watch him play. So bottom of the fourth, 5-1 Seattle. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. PPO losing some control, 2-0 count to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. I just can't wait for the day where Julio matures. And that typically is going to be years, 6 through 10. So you got to think this is only 3rd year. So he's got a little more time to be able to get into his prime. But if you play 15 or 20 years in MLB, you normally don't hit your stride until about 6 through 10 is really when you find yourself. And Lowe is in right field, wheeling and dealing, and we leave 2 stranded. Julio pops out, but we still do the damage, and we're up 5-1. Let's go Mariners. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Rays. Great job, baby. Great game so far, baby. Let's go. Let's see who's up next here for Tampa in the top of the 5th. Leading off 1 for 1 with a run and an RBI, has been putting on a defensive spectacle. Right fielder Josh Lowe. Batting second, center fielder 0 for 1, Johnny DeLuca. And batting third, the former Seattle Mariner third baseman Jose Caballero. Let's go, baby. Let's take a look at the pitching numbers here. All right, Bryce Miller, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no walks. Unbelievable. 7 Ks. You're the fucking man. 54 pitches, 34 strikes. ERA of 3.29. It's Miller time. Let's go. Nice job. Let's take a quick look to see what PPO is doing. All right, PPO, 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. The 4 Ks is good, but the 7 hits, that's really what's getting you in trouble right now, and you're down 5-1. 1 for 1 with a solo home run in the second for Josh Lowe. 0-1 pitch. Line drive up the middle. Over Leo Rivas' head for a single. Nice hit there by Josh. Josh is a one-man crew today. He's really doing it all, offensively and defensively, but he's waiting for his teammates to help him. Next up, center fielder Johnny DeLuca. DX in the building, what's good? Brandon in the building, what's good? I feel that Yeatley, Leo has been playing good enough to get into the starting, 9. But the only problem is that we're going to get Victor Robles back. That takes up a spot. You're going to get JP Crawford back in his normal spot at shortstop. So then the only other spot that maybe Leo could play is second base. Jorge Polanco is there. So, you're probably not going to do Leo over Polo based on what we've seen lately. At least Dan hasn't shown that he would do that. But maybe we can end up getting him to pinch hit or pinch run in games. So that way he's still a factor, within the game itself. But, you got to think guys like Leo Rivas and Dylan Moore, those are the guys that might get their playing time, taken back just a little bit once we get Robles and JP back in the lineup, as long as, those guys stay healthy and play well. But Leo has played good enough, to be in the lineup every day or at least every other day. I would agree to that. He's been playing very good. He's been hot. He's been playing confident, and he's taken the role after JP broke his pinky, and he's ran with it. He's been good. Little force out double play and safe at first. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's get to 40 likes. We're almost there. Fielder's choice with the runner out. DeLuca grounded into fielder's choice to the shortstop. Low out at second. Next up is Jose Caballero. Try to jam him. That's like a Julio pitch right there. 0-1 count. 233 average, 9 homers, and 37 ribbies for Jose. But I would say, to do Jose for Luke Raley, I would say that we won that trade. Yeah, thankfully, nothing yet. Oh, 1 pitch from Miller to Caballero. Little slow roll dribbler. Rivas is there. Force out to second to Polo. 2 away. We're at 6, 94 to go. Next up, catcher 0 for 1, Ben Rortvedt. I respect that, though, DX. If your work is busy and if you actually want to, make the most out of it and you're actually trying to do well, it does take a lot of time. Again, now, if you don't give a crap about the league that you're in, then anybody can do a league. You just don't really pay attention to it, as much as others, and you just kind of go with the flow. But, yeah, again, it's one of those things. It's like, if you sign up for a fantasy league, we expect everyone to finish it. But it seems like every year, no matter what league it is across the world, there's always one person that quits or two before the season ends. Either you're in last place or second to last place, or you're doing 3 or 4 leagues and it's too hard to manage, whatever, or you have a bunch of injuries and bad luck. But, I always hope whenever we do a league, we have people that are going to be committed regardless of record to see it through. But again, I also do understand why people kind of step away from it, when they know they have no chance of going to the playoff or the championship. But it's always kind of a dream of mine to be able to have everyone kind of just give it their all the way through. But again, if you're sitting in 9th or 10th place, I can see why sometimes people might not care about it as much as, the others that are in the playoff push. DX with a 4. I appreciate you. We're at 10 now, 90 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for F1 photos, and I got you if that's what you want. We can do some Lando, a little Lando Norris, or whatever you want. I got you. Top of the 5th, 5-1 Mariners. Cal the 3rd. Ooh, replay that. All right, we're almost at 40. You guys are doing great. We're only 4 away. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 4 more, and we hit the goal for the stream. Let's go. We're at 36. I mean, who knows? At this point, we might actually get to 50 before the game ends. Especially if Tampa makes a little bit of a run and comes back, it'll be a little bit closer. Top of the 5th, 5-1 Mariners. Pitch right down the middle to Rortvedt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at with 2 outs. Let's go, Bryce. Two-two pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. Good save there and smothered by Cal Raleigh. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The last thing that you want is like a wild pitch and then have the guy already, sneaking halfway down third while he's looking at the pitcher, and then he only has to take like 10 steps and he might slide in there for a free run. So obviously Tampa is putting on the pressure here, trying to get it to 5-2 or 5-3 as soon as possible. Top of the 5th, 5-1 Mariners. Runner at third, 2 outs, 3-2 pitch from Miller to Rortvedt. Rortvedt pops it up and should be the end of the inning. Rayleigh and Polo are there. Got him. Yes, I can do that. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th, 5-1 Mariners. Hi, Paisley. And what's Oscar's last name, DX? So that way I can look it up in my file. Cal showing bunt and then hit by a pitch. We'll take it. Appreciate you guys. All right, Cal, we'll take that. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Big swing and a miss, and Randy goes down to one knee behind the count 0-1. Come on, Randy. Good game so far for you. You got a 3-run blast. You got another one in you? Let's go, Rosarina. 1 for 2 with a 3-run blast in the third inning for the Seattle Mariners. Bottom of the fifth, 5-1 Seattle. Pitches inside at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. William in the building. What's good? How are you? Go M's. I like that, especially if we can get Houston to start dropping some games and we can start, sweeping or winning 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4 to kind of make up that ground. And I think we can, especially now that we don't have Scott Service kind of holding us back. I feel that we're playing a little bit more freer, and I feel the vibes are better, and again, you have to be able to have good aura and good vibes, and Randy gets almost hit in the head. My God, Randy has been picked on in the last, I don't know how many games, but it started off with one of the Dodger pitchers talking shit to him, and it seems like every single game he's been tossed at. I don't know if he's the brand new Ty France and he's the guy that they're picking on, but Randy is going to explode at one point or another, or maybe that was because he hit the 3-run blast. I'm not sure if that one was on purpose or if it just got away from PPO, but if he didn't move his head, that could have hit his chin, and it hit him right on the top of the shoulder. And I don't like seeing Randy getting tossed at like that. It's like we already have plenty of injuries with J.P. Crawford, Julio, and Victor Robles. The last thing that we need is Mr. PP over there to fucking injure another one of our guys, especially former Tampa Bay Ray and Randy Rosarina, who already has a 3-run home run. Next up is second baseman Jorge Polanco. Tell Mr. PP to quit that shit. I'm sick and tired of Randy getting hit, man. Fuck. And luckily, Randy is a tough guy, So PPO, I don't think it was on purpose. I think he just, lost control. But I don't know what everyone has against Randy Rosarina lately. Double play, throw to second, back to first. Got him. Polanco grounded out into a double play. First to the shortstop to first, to Rosarina out at second, Cal to third. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Justin Turner. Bottom of the fifth, 5-1 Mariners, runner at third with 2 outs. PPO, 74 pitches in. Justin Turner, 0 for 2. Let's make it 1 for 3. Come on, my guy. Let's go, JT. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Justin Turner. 249 average here in 2024. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to JT. Turner pops that one up, fading foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Justin Turner. This season with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, 294 average for Justin Turner, the former Dodger, Red Sox, Blue Jay, and now Seattle Mariner. Pitch in the zone for a strike, but called ball. Wow, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I am, but I'm not a Seahawk fan, though. That's the only team that in the Pacific Northwest that, I'm a fan of a different team. But obviously I do Kraken streams. I'm a Kraken fan, Mariner fan. But again, I'm not a Husky or a Seahawk fan. But I do follow a lot of, what's going on since I do live in Oregon. I don't live in Washington. Now, if I lived in Washington, then I would be everything. I'd be Kraken, Sonics, Mariners, Seahawks, but I live in Oregon, so I have a little bit of Oregon here that, I represent, and then a little bit of Washington with Seattle, with the Kraken and the Mariners, and then obviously more Blazers, Ducks here for me in the Pacific Northwest. End of the fifth inning, 5-1 Seattle. But I am looking forward to seeing how Seattle plays, and I would assume that they should be able to make a wild card or be right there in the hunt for one. I believe that they would be right there with the Rams, and if they play well, for them to go 10-7 and get into a wild card, I think would be very plausible. If San Francisco has injuries, there could be a possibility that they overachieve and even get a higher win total than the Niners. Like, Seahawks win 12, the Niners have a bunch of injuries and they win 11. But if the Niners don't have injuries, I think most people feel they're going to win somewhere between 11 and 14. And then the Seahawks are going to win somewhere between 8 and 12. 8 or 9 if they get injured and beat up and things don't go their way and the Rams slightly play better, or if they play good, then you're looking at that 10 to 12 win range. 10, 11, is kind of the wheelhouse where most people are thinking if everything goes well with the new head coach, with McDonald. And if everything goes, above and beyond, then I would say 12-5 is probably the highest number that they would be able to hit this year. And again, they may have to wait till next year to hit that number. But, if you're looking at it, no Aaron Donald for the Rams. You see what they have, with the new OC and the head coach. Defense, they're going to try to turn it into the baby Ravens. I do like, what you're getting out of Byron, up front, on the D-line. Offensive line and D-line still need work, and the defense in general. But I think that it's definitely plausible, and they could definitely make a good playoff push. At least you would think so. No problem. I got you. Yeah, and again, we'll like I said, we do full time for the Seattle Mariners, the Oregon Ducks, the Seattle Kraken, Tampa Bay Bucks, as well as all the other teams, right? And then on top of that, we do the WWE, PLEs, the pay-per-views once a month as well. And then once Monday Night Raw goes to Netflix and everyone gets it at the same time, we'll probably end up doing Monday Night Raw streams also. Maybe not necessarily when football season is going, but maybe after football is over, we'll do more of it. Popped up. One away. Nice job by Dom there. Next up, left fielder Dylan Carlson. Taylor Walls with that pop up and out to Dominic Canzone, one away. Next up, left fielder 0 for 2 with a K, Dylan Carlson. Yeah, I did see that. Appreciate that. I'll be able to get that in once we go to the next commercial break. Top of the sixth, 5-1 Mariners. Nobody on, one out. Bryce Miller pitching a gem. 0-1 pitch to Carlson. Pitches low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Shows you if you have Cal Raleigh at catcher, it gives you more confidence and swagger. When you got Mitch Garver catching, then everything goes to hell. That's another thing that luckily we got Harry Ford waiting in the wings, and then that'll be a guy that we can have as our backup catcher or DH, but it'll be a big improvement, to have 2 types of catchers. Big dumper with the bigger legs, more home run power, and then we're going to get a Harry Ford who's in the farm system right now who's built like a Buster Posey. A little bit smaller, more of a contact hitter, but can still throw guys out defensively from the knees and gives you a little bit of oomph in the lineup too. So definitely excited for the transition to move away from Garver and to be able to have Harry Ford. And then there'll be games where Harry Ford will catch and maybe Cal will DH. So that way we can maximize the bats in the lineup. So definitely very excited about that in the near future. as well as Lazaro Montez, Colt Emerson, and Cole Young. And we still got Tyler Locklear and Ryan Bliss working on their skill set in AAA. Next up is Brandon Lowe, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Big swing and a miss behind in the count now 0-2. O2 pitch from Miller to Lowe. Lowe crushes that one towards third base and foul. Count remains 0-2. O2 pitch from Miller to Lowe. Chopper towards first base is foul. Still behind in the count 0-2. And appreciate you, Lauren and DX, for helping out. Ooh, Mexico City track. I like. Heck yeah, man. And I appreciate the support with the social media. Lauren as well. Appreciate you guys. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Hell yeah. Bryce Miller, baby. Another punch out. Maurice loves it. The Moose. It's Miller time, baby. Nice job. What a day. Bringing that electricity. And again, you know, we just need to be able to get hits so that way when we end up having an amazing pitching performance, it doesn't get wasted. And we've had a lot of wasted, you know, pitching efforts because we couldn't get any home runs or, you know, basic hits and RBIs. But today, Bryce is pitching a gem. And not only that, we're getting home runs and getting good RBIs, and we're putting out some good ball. Dan Wilson, you're the man. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Mariners. Next up for Seattle, 2 for 2 with a run. Third baseman Hollywood Josh Rojas. Love seeing his swag and confidence come back defensively and offensively in the box. Dan Wilson, I see you. Batting second, right fielder, 0 for 2 with a K, Dominic Canzone. And obviously this is another individual where his playing time may get decreased. Once we have Victor Robles healthy, we would assume that we're going to have Victor Robles every day in right field with Julio in center and then Randy in left field. And batting third, who's been playing great as of late and has even won a game for us, 1 for 2 with an RBI shortstop, Leo Rivas. Maybe we can get Rivas to drop down the bunt. Let's go. That one pulled foul. Let's see if I can get you at least one more Oscar here real quick for your dono. Appreciate you. Got that one. I got a good one with him in his helmet. Ooh, here we go. Swag. Pitch right down the middle to Josh Rojas behind in the count 0-2. 2 for 2 today with a double, single, stolen base, and a run. A very good complete game out of a guy that was starting to lose his confidence defensively at third. And at the beginning of the year, you know, we were wondering, okay, Eugenio Suarez is gone. Who's going to be our third baseman? Rojas was the only player to be batting 300 to 350 at the first 20 or 30 games. But then after April and May ended, he really went on a big cold streak in June and July. But it seems like he's starting to kind of get back to where he was a few months ago, Josh Rojas. But at that at-bat, strike number 3, he is out. 1 away. Next up, right fielder Dominic Canzone. And And we broke 40. Let's go. Let's see if we can get to 50 before the game ends. We are at 40, 41. We need 10 more to get to 50 before the game ends. We only need 9 more. Thank you to everyone that has been watching across the globe. We're at 41, 9 more likes, and then we're hit the final goal of the night. Bottom of the 6th, 5-1, Seattle. Daddy has to work. Had to go feed my dog there real quick. All right, bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Seattle. Runner at first, 2-0 count by Rivas, popped up. Slide out to center, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman, Luke Raley. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 0-1 count to Luke, 1 for 3 with a double in the 4th. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Raley, 236 average here in 2024. One pitch from PPO to Raley, popped up, fading foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Canzone sliding into second and called out. End of the 6th inning, 5-1 Seattle. I got to get my Papa a little bit more food, so give me 1 sec. All right, I'm back. Just had to change the water and get some dinner for my pub. Top of the seventh, 5-1 Seattle. Nobody on. 2-0 count to Junior Cabanero. 289 average, 2 homers and 4 ribbies as the DH for Tampa. That one chopped behind the plate, foul towards the T-Mobile bricks. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch number 80 for Bryce Miller. Incoming, 2-1 pitch to Caminero. That one popped up, fading foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One more K for Bryce Miller here, and he'll be at 10. Anytime you can get to double digits, it's a big deal. Like even getting to double digits back in 2022 and 2023 was more common. And there it is. That was number 9. One more to get 10. Let's go. He's 1 away. But normally for our starters, it's like 4 to 7 Ks. You know, we don't really get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know, it's very rare. So I'm hoping that he can get one more. I don't expect him to retire the side, but if he can get one more out of these next 2 outs, that would be awesome. But if he retires the side, then he'll have 11 Ks, and that'll be one of his best performances, not only in 2024, but his career. Next up is Christopher Morel, the former Cub. Pitch is low and in the zone for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch. That one chopped foul behind the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. 196 average, 21 homers and 55 ribbies for Christopher Morel here in 2024. Two-one pitch. Right down the middle for a strike to Morel. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Bryce. Let's go, baby. It's Miller time. One more punch out. You can do it. Come on now. Miller time, baby. His control and speed have been amazing today. Got him. 96 miles an hour, and Bryce Miller hit double digits in Ks, and that's something that we haven't seen as far as Seattle Mariner fans in quite a while. Nice job, Bryce Miller. It's fucking Miller time. Let's go. Way to separate yourself from Luis Castillo as being the number 4, and as of late, you probably are the number 3 pitcher since Kirby has been struggling as of late, as well as Castillo. You're right there with Gilbert and Wu right now, Bryce Miller. Nice job. Fuck yeah. Going into the game after Bryce Miller gets fucking 10 Ks. Let's go. Good shit. Way to bring that electricity today on the mound, Bryce Miller. Top of the 7th, 5-1, nobody on with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch to Josh Lowe. 2 for 2 with a solo home run and a single and a lot of defensive gems. 235 average, 8 homers and 28 ribbies for Josh Lowe today. One pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Lowe. Let's go, baby. Try to get one more and see if we can get 11. 10 is great, but once you get to 11 or 12, it feels like you're floating. Like, is this real? Especially when you have a qualified pitching staff, but it's just really tough to get over 10. Pop behind the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. All he needs is one more heater, and he'll be at 11. Let's go. And I think we probably only have maybe a handful of games this season that we've hit 10. So this would, they'll say, how many we've had after he hits it, but not many. 2-2 pitch. Slow roll dribbler. Flip to first. Got him. Count them. 10 Ks for Bryce Miller. Wow. 10 Ks on a 2-hitter. I would say that's a pretty successful day for our guy. Being electric, Mr. Bryce Miller. Nice job. This is one of the better outings that we've seen from our pitching staff in a long time. The hitting is there, the pitching is there. Now we still got to wait for the bullpen, and hope that they don't fuck the game up. And then all of a sudden we bring in Taylor Saucedo and he gives up 4 runs and the game is fucking tied and then we lose 6-5. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But as far as Bryce Miller is concerned, great job. 10K night, 2-hitter for Bryce Miller. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, see who's up next for Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with a run, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and a K, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, a 3-run blast and a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go. Gained a few more subs as well, which is good. Another one. 88 to go. 20,500. Appreciate to all the people that have subbed today, as well as smashed the like button, donated, and commented. Oh, cool. Did you just get it? Awesome. Looks good. I mean, especially if you decided to do that for your costume. I mean, you're already halfway there. Now you just got to get pants to match. Julio swings at the first pitch. What's new? Popped up to right to Josh Lowe. 1 away. What a wasted at bat. I feel like Julio's got so much potential, but he's just throwing it away. It's like the complete opposite of Ichiro. Ichiro grinds out the at bats. He does the same thing every single time, has that discipline, and then ends up getting good results. And then a guy like Julio, he could be a Hall of Famer too. He played like a Hall of Famer in his first 2 years, but then this year, he's regressed. And again, not only being hurt, but, the lack of focus of understanding what pitchers are doing to you, It's a damn shame, and hopefully he'll be able to get better as the years go on, but he has definitely gone backwards in 2024. And I love this player. Next up, catcher Cal Raleigh. I mean, we can't act like everything is just going great with Julio Rodriguez when it's not. Ever since he got hurt, he went 0 for 5 at DH, and then he was on a little bit of a heater where he was batting about 300, 350, where he was getting at least a hit in every game. But I have seen lately, quite a few 0 for 4, 0 for 5 games, and that should not happen for a guy with a skill set as Julio Rodriguez, whether he's DH or center field. Facts. Cal Raleigh with a slow dribbler, 2 away. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. So Randy, you're the MVP of this game so far with a 3-run home run. Keep that electricity going. Let's go, Randy. Shep in the building. What's good, brother? How are you? I'm good, man. Long time no talk, man. I miss you. I hope things are going good for you. I know you're overworked and underappreciated. And, it's always a pleasure to have you in the room, regardless if you donate or not. Just like I told you, man, just being in the room with the other goats, sometimes it'll help, especially if you're having a rough day, a rough couple days, or a rough week. Punch out to Randy Arozarena. See you later. 1, 2, 3. And now we go to the top of the 8th with the Mariners with a 5-1 lead. Oh, good. Happy early birthday, my guy. And at least you can be excited about the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Braves have probably disappointed you a little bit, with the injuries to Acuna and Strider. It seems like they're still going to make the playoffs, but they may not be like a World Series contender. They might get there, but we don't really know how far they're going to go. But at least with the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr., you're feeling pretty good, right? Offensive line is already there. You got running backs, right, with Bajon. You got Kyle Pitts now that actually might get used. Drake London, few receivers as well, right? Still can improve a few more spots on the offense, but the offense looks like it's kind of coming together. And the defense was kind of the issue, right? And then you end up getting Judon, you get Simmons. That's looking pretty good. I mean, it's probably like we said, when we talked last, this is probably the best off season, that you've had as an Atlanta Falcon fan in like 10 plus years. You got some names, right? And then obviously, picking up guys like, Jesse Bates III and taking them from the Bengals, obviously helping the team as well. So I see you, man. Megan with a new addition. I mean, if you already got this, you just got to get the pants and some of the other gear. If it's going to be between Gambit or this, I mean, you're already halfway there. Looking good. I see you. I'm a little bit more Star Wars rather than Star Trek myself, but I do appreciate what they've been able to put out for the movies. Not everyone ended up watching the show, that was on, back in the 80s and 90s or the Next Generation. But I feel like even if you didn't watch the TV shows with Captain Kirk and Spock and all that from back in the day, I feel that the movies that they put out within the last 15 years have been pretty entertaining. And they're kind of like a Star Wars feel, based on, the movie, the cinematography of it. They give you a lot of action in those movies. And, I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a few. And every one that I've seen has been pretty good. Yeah, you got to get a wig. Get the wig. Got to complete it. Let's go to the top of the 8th, 5-1 Seattle. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Austin Voth coming in from the pen. Hopefully he doesn't fuck it up for us here. Next up for the Tampa Bay Rays is Johnny DeLuca, who is 0 for 2. Let's make it 0 for 3. You want to do fantasy football this year, Shep? I think I'm gonna be doing the draft on Thursday. I was thinking either this Thursday or the following Tuesday, but obviously the NFL season is next Thursday. So the latest I can do the draft is next Tuesday to give us like 2 days before Ravens and Chiefs. So I think right now it's going to be me, Reflect, then we got Sarah, Megan, Matt, and then if you do it, that's 6, and then we'll need just 4 people. So I'm trying to, kind of time it up. I was thinking about doing it on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, just because the Mariners have a day off. And then the Dodgers and Orioles play around that time, I believe at 7. So I can end up doing the draft. So I can watch that on the side. But this Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific work for your work schedule? Would you be able to do that, or is that not going to work? I mean, I know it's going to be tough to get everyone to be like, yeah, that's a great time. For some people, it's not going to be that good of a time. But again, we're kind of running out of time now. With everything. I haven't even made a post for it, but it sounds like we're only going to need maybe 4 or 5 people. We already have most of the people that are wanting to do it, so. But I'll make a video for it probably tomorrow, and then, and then we'll, get a few more names, obviously, on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then obviously the draft will be on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, unless we have too many people that can't make that time. And then we'll do Tuesday, the following Tuesday at 6, which would mean that I would have to skip a Mariner stream against the Athletics. But again, I can still watch it while we do the live stream. So, because of course, if we're doing the fantasy draft, I can't call the game and do the draft. I need to focus on just what's going on, and we'll do a live stream for the fantasy draft on the channel like we do every year. A little slow roll dribbler by DeLuca, and that one goes foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 8th, 5-1 Mariners. Birthday party, Airbnb. Nice, dude. Congratulations. That sounds like a lot of fun. Nolans for your birthday. But for a lot of y'all that are in the room, Matt, we'll get Reflect on board, with you, Shep, if you do it, as well as Megan and Sarah. Obviously, I'll get everyone's email, even though I've gotten their emails in the past. But we'll get all those emails so the invitation can be sent out. And then again, it looks like I'm only going to need 4 or 5 names, since most of the names are already taken for. So. And again, for someone like me that tries the hardest every year, doesn't mean that you're going to win it. Like I said, I've been in the top 3 every year that I've done it. But again, I haven't won the championship in a couple years because you guys have been playing great, and I've been trying to step everyone up, to the type of level of intensity I bring. And again, it's always been fun. It's never been bland in our league. It's always been very competitive. 3-2 pitch, popped up. DeLuca, flied out to right, 2 away. Next up, third baseman, Jose Caballero. So, for the time being, for the people in the room, 6 p.m. Pacific Thursday is when the draft is going to be. Again, unless, I get emails or comments, letting me know that they can't particularly do that. And I know it's not going to be, great for everyone, but I feel that that's really, we're running out of time. It's either Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, or we wait till the following Tuesday, 2 days before the season starts, and then we do it at like 6 p.m. on that day. But those are really the only 2 days that I have available to do it based on me doing these Mariner games and, getting situated for college football and the NFL season. So. Yeah, different strategy this year. It only works out if those guys stay healthy and it's a good team, So again, if you get 3 guys on one team, whether it's the kicker, the defense, and then like the running back and receiver, or you do quarterback, running back, wide receiver, you just got to pray that the team is good, they stay injury free, and they ball out together. And if you end up getting the right 3, you can ball out like I did, But again, sometimes that strategy, isn't going to work out, or you end up doing 3 and 3, where like for me, getting like Tampa Bay Buccaneer players and Detroit Lions. Like I said, I have a specific set of teams that I would only do 3 and 3 from. Only maybe 4 or 5. It just depends if those guys are available there. Big swing and a miss, both with the punch out. There we go. 2 away. Jose Caballero, see ya later, as well as Johnny DeLuca. Next up, catcher Ben Rortvedt. Yeah, but you know what? If it happens, like I said, everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? And sometimes you end up losing by 0.5 or like 1. It just the battle of the beast. Anything you do, in the draft, that takes skill. Right, drafting a team takes skill, right? And then what you do in the regular season takes skill. But when you get to the playoffs, sometimes it's not skill, it's skill and luck, depending on, if you end up having players that already, made the playoff mark, and sometimes they rest their players. So if you end up having a lot of quality guys that you've been banking on, and then all of a sudden it's like Mahomes and Kelsey and they have a bye, and then they decide not to play those guys, you better have good backups or you're going to lose the championship. So we'll see where it goes this particular season, but I'm definitely excited for the draft on Thursday, tentatively. That one chopped foul by Rortvet. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, and make sure you're doing a lot of reading if you haven't done it yet. Got to keep up with everyone that's doing well in preseason, who's injured and who's not, and guys like Chubb that might not be someone that is going to be at your priority list at the top, but could be a sleeper running back to add as an RB2 or flex if he can stay healthy after that. Line drive to Polo, and let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. But for the people that are in the room that are going to be a part of it, Shep, Sarah, Megan, Matt, if you want to send me your email now, on Instagram or Twitter/X, and then I can have that for reference, and then I'll have to get reflects, later tonight or tomorrow. And then from there, we're only going to need, it sounds like maybe 4, maybe 5 people. And then I'll do maybe a video tomorrow about it. And then, we'll talk about it more. And then I want to try to be able to have all the names, at least by Wednesday with emails. And then, I'll send the invite, obviously, and then we should be good to go. I want to have everything, done by Wednesday evening. So that way, when we go into Thursday, we already know. We're not going to know the order because that's going to be random. And then whatever happens, we'll go from there. So we're not going to know the order until I think 1 hour before. So at 5 p.m., we'll know what order we're in. But prior to that, we won't know. So. All right, perfect. And then Megan and Sarah sent. Thank you. Appreciate that. Matt, you want to send me yours as well? And then Shep, send me yours as well on Instagram. Like Megan did. Thank you. Live long and prosper. Post. Liked it. Yeah, it's all good, DX. If you already know you got a job and, like in the fantasy league, we want people to try. And if you already know, if you just say yes to say yes, and then you're not going to give full effort, and you might end up quitting early, it is best to leave that open, spot for someone else that, knows that they're going to more than likely try throughout the whole year and they want to do it. So don't worry about not doing it this year. And again, we're not going to force anyone to do it. We have plenty of people that want to do it. Usually I have to turn down 30 to 40 people, somewhere in that range. At the very lowest, maybe 20 people. So we're going to have plenty of people that are going to want these last 4 or 5 spots. It'll probably be 20 to 40 that will be messaging me, and then I'll have to just pick them out of a hat, and then, we'll go from there. So, and then whoever gets picked will get an email from me. Bottom of the 8th, 5-1 Seattle. Ramirez in the box. Or Ramirez on the mound, Polo in the box. But Shep, make sure you send me your email too, brother, if you're still in the room. Pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. And again, we went on that explosion, but, we had an individual coming in here asking about the bet of 8.5 if we would get to 9 runs or more. And at one moment, around the 4th inning, it looked like it could be possible. But again, sometimes you kind of hit a wall, and then, you get those runs, and then the game you go through the motions. And that's kind of what we're getting right now, where we're at 6, where it's very possible that this might end up being the final score of the night. So you never know if that Uncle Mo and that momentum will continue, or if our bullpen stinks and then they get a few runs on their end. But it kind of feels like now where this might be the final score. Shep, you emailed me? Great. I just sent Reflect a message on text message for his email, which he may pop in here, or if not, he'll check it tonight. Rojas, little slow roller, easy 1-2-3 inning. Now we go to the top of the ninth for the Tampa Bay Rays. Great game from Seattle today to set the tone in game number 1, which will give us a really good chance to win, game 2. But if we drop game 2, we can definitely win game 3. So good job setting the tone with Bryce Miller. Awesome. Next up for the Rays, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Taylor Walls. Batting second, left fielder, 0 for 3 with a K, Dylan Carlson. And batting third, first baseman Brandon Lowe. And we got Trent Thornton coming in for Austin Voth. I mean, we don't really need Munoz in this particular situation, but hopefully it works out. We got to get the Mariner Moose up here too. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's try to get to 50 likes before the stream ends. But a great game overall. Great pitching day. 10 Ks out of Bryce Miller. Jorge Polanco with a solo jack. Randy Arozarena obviously has been ice cold, but we put him on the thumb. He says, you know what? Let me hit a 3-run home run in my first home run at T-Mobile versus my former team. Thank you very much. 5-1 Seattle. Way to bring that electricity today, Randy. MVP today, Bryce Miller and Randy Arozarena. Nice job, Miller time. Reflect in the building. Just talked about you, and then you showed up. I just sent you a text message. I need your email for fantasy football. So we're going to do the draft at 6 p.m. on Thursday because the Mariners have the day off, and it's either that day or the following Tuesday. But I think I would rather get the draft done rather than do it 2 days before the Ravens and Chiefs play. I want to be able to stare at my fucking team for at least a couple days and pull my hair out and then spy on all your guys' fucking teams, look at all your guys' bench players and look at all the guys on the wire and salivate and strategize in my head like a fucking psychopath. So I'm going to need at least a few days of staring at my team over and over and over and refreshing it, even though I know nothing's going to change. So we got me, we got Reflect, obviously the champion from last year. We're going to have Megan, we're going to have Sarah, we're going to have Shep, we're going to have Matt. So we're going to have 4 openings. Only 4. So again, it'll get swooped up. We'll have 20 to 40 requests, but we'll only have 4 spots open. And Matt, make sure you send me your email as well. Matt and Reflect. Top of the ninth, 5-1 Seattle. Bases are cleared. Thornton on the mound. 2-2 pitch to Taylor Walls. Pitches inside and jammed him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I mean, if you feel that you don't got the time for it, or if you're doing multiple fantasy leagues already, again, there's going to be people that are not doing any, and they're only going to do our league, or there might be people that have 2 or 3 leagues that they're doing. And I don't mind when people do 2 or 3 leagues. I just want to make sure that they don't quit ours if things don't go the way that they want, if we can prevent that. But we're always going to typically have at least one person that quits every year. Sometimes it's twice, but, you just hope that we can go through a full season without anyone kind of giving up. But if you are in 9th or 10th place and there's nothing really to play for and it's at the end, I can understand why people kind of, don't care anymore. I get it. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss from Thornton to Walls. Nice K by Thornton. 1 away. I need the title. especially with all the effort and time and energy that I put in. I'm done getting second and third place. I'm due for a championship. I'm overdue. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I need it. Next up is Dylan Carlson, 0 for 3 with a K. We're only 4 games back. Astros lost today against the Phillies, and if the Astros can just go on a little bit of a losing streak and we can start winning 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3 and sweep, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4, then we'll be right back, in the mix of things. Even though the percentage-wise it doesn't look that good, but you can't speak for what might happen with the Astros if they hit a wall and we get hot. Pitch is low and at the knees into the dirt to Carlson. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Carlson. Top of the ninth, 5-1 Seattle. Epic performance, out of Bryce Miller, 10K night. And again, 2-hitter while he was only out there. And we actually got home runs today, right? Got a nice RBI opportunity as well, but Polo with a homer. Fantastic. 1-0 Mariners. 3-run blast by Randy Arozarena, giving us our first home run at T-Mobile. And then even Rivas single to right and Rojas scored. Even Rivas, doing big things while JP is out as well. It's crazy that draft, all those guys, ended up getting traded. So everyone thinks that, this new blend of quarterbacks in the draft are going to be great. And then you start to realize in the last couple drafts, a lot of the guys really weren't that good. And now they're looking for teams, and you kind of feel that they're never going to be, what they were drafted to be. Like we saw what we saw. A lot of them are backups. At least Malik gets to go to the Packers now instead of being on the Titans. So if Jordan Love gets hurt, he'll be able to play with a better team. But a lot of those guys, including Ritter, sometimes you're just not cut out to be a starter. You're just a backup. And if you don't play good as a backup, second, third string, eventually you may be out of the league. Unfortunately, it's going to be very competitive at quarterback. It takes a special breed of quarterback to be able to sustain, their position as a starter. Top of the ninth, 5-1 Seattle. Matt, send me your email on Twitter/X. So that way I have it there. I got everyone's email so far besides you, Matt, and Reflect. Pitches outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Brandon Lowe. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel that I can do any strategy, go heavy running back like I do 99% of the time. I went heavy wide receiver last year, and it kind of fucked me for a little bit, having David Montgomery and like Jalen Warren, and I'm having to pray that I can get to 20 points combined out of my running backs, as RB1, RB2, and then I had Rashad White that started to get better as the season went on, but it definitely made me uncomfortable not having my normal 3 awesome running backs at RB1, RB2, and flex. It was weird, but I did end up having Jay Jetta, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, and Keenan Allen, and it helped, for a while, even though you can only play 3 out of those 4 receivers. But the shitty part was late in the year, Keenan Allen was unusable, and Jay Jetta was hurt. So I was only really able to use like Amon-Ra and Mike Evans, but then Baker Mayfield got hurt. So again, when you have, receivers that are good, but their quarterback gets hurt, that screws everything up. Targets, catches, touchdowns, opportunities, slow roller, throw to first. And that is the ball game, baby. Final score, 5-1 Mariners over the Rays, and we didn't even have to use Andres Munoz. I like it. What a game today. Only 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. That will not get you a dub. Final score, Seattle Mariners 5, Tampa Bay Rays 1. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Fuck yeah, that feels good. 67-65. Astros lost to the Phillies today as well. So we're gaining ground. And all we can do is just worry about ourselves. We can't worry about Houston or the Boston Red Sox. All we can do is just try to do our very best down the stretch with Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez. Let's go. Let me see where we hit on the likes. All right, Matt, I got your email there. Perfect. Boom. And Reflect will send me his email by text message here. And then, again, we'll have 4 spots. Let's go. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. And the thing is, not only do you got to worry about me being crazy in the league, Reflect is a mirror image of me. So, again, everyone's shooting for me and trying to take my knees out, acting like I'm like Tanya Harding in the Nancy Kerrigan situation. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be gunning for me, but I'm going to be gunning for you guys. But again, you're going to have to worry about more than me. There's a couple people in the room that you're going to have to worry about, not just me. So I think it's going to be very competitive. And again, we're going to have 4 openings, it sounds like. So we got me, we got the champ, and then we got Megan, we got Sarah, we got Shep, we got Matt, so we got 6. So we're going to have 4 openings. And again, I'll make a post about it tomorrow. And then I'll start sending out invites once I have all of the names, the other 4 emails. And I'll try to send that out on Tuesday evening or Wednesday. And then the draft will be Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. So. All right, baby. Reflect, what do you want to do for photos? Anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise with your $10 dono? Anything specific that you want to be able to see? When I was going to see where we were hitting on the likes. But, man, this one feels good. I decided to put Randy on the thumb, and he came up big. We're 4 likes away from 50. We should be able to get that. If you haven't smashed the like button yet and you're in the room right now, do your boy a solid. We only need 3 more. We're at 47 now. 3 more to get to 50. And I know there's going to be people that watch the replay, and some of those might end up hitting the like button. But if we can end up getting it now before the stream ends, before later, that would be great. Only 3 away from 50 on the stream. Good effort by the fans showing love and support. Oh, man, it's going to be fun. And we only got 4 spots open. So, again, it'll be very, very interesting. Great win for the Mariners, man. Feels good. It almost feels like unreal when we win. Like, we've gotten beat up so much. When we win 5-1, it almost feels like not real. But, to hold them to 2 hits and an error and only 1 run, that's something that we usually put up, not what we do against the other team. And we also got 10 Ks. So not only did we have an epic day out of Bryce Miller, one of his best performances in his career, 10 Ks, right? But on top of that, you got 2 home runs. You got 1 from Polo, and then you got a 3-run blast, his very first homer at T-Mobile, and he made it worthwhile, a 3-run homer, and then we ended up winning 5-1. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better starting pitching, Bryce Miller, right? Good play out of studs in the lineup, Randy, right? Jorge, as well as Leo. And you're getting good things out of Rojas now as well. It feels good. Really, the only person that we're maybe disappointed about is maybe Julio, and hopefully that will be a little bit better, going into tomorrow. But so far, so good, man. I feel that we can win 2 out of 3, and if we win tomorrow, we might sweep them. Well, first you got to follow me on Instagram or Twitter/X. So once you follow me, if we follow each other, then you can just send me a direct message, and then the message will have, your particular email, and then I'll get emails from, a certain amount of people, and then I'll pick 4 out of the, 20, 30 emails that I get, 40 emails, and then we'll have 4 slots open. And then if you get selected, you will be notified by me. So since we already have, kind of people set in place, I may even send you guys, some emails tonight or tomorrow. So if you do get an email from me, Reflect, Matt, Shep, Megan, Sarah, Matt, just respond to it. So that way that you'll already be in there. And then we'll only have to worry about 4 spots in the next couple days. All right, I followed you back, and then you just got to send me. A message. So there'll be a message button on the Twitter/X near your photo, and then you can hit that, or you click on the name of the person and then go that route, and then you can click on that and then send a message that way. So I got to take Paisley for a walk and eat some dinner, but you may get an email from me either tonight or tomorrow. I'll probably wait till tomorrow, but maybe I'll do it tonight. I mean, obviously, just make sure you're checking your emails tonight and tomorrow, and again, just accept the invitation if you can, and then we go, go from there. So. Anything you want to see, Reflect? All right, so all right, talk soon. And then Reflect, if you can send me your email by text message tonight, that would be appreciative. I think I've gotten everyone's except yours, so. And it makes good timing to do it on Thursday as well at 6 p.m. Pacific, just because the Mariners have a day off, and every other day the Mariners are playing. So I would rather do it on a Mariner day off, and really that's the only day that we can do it. So hopefully that timetable will work. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I'll be sending some emails tonight. $10Ks, man. Big day. Who's going to win fantasy football for the NWSF? Could it be you? How about you? Is it you? Could be. Could be. It's been competitive. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. So, again, look out for an email from me here tonight or tomorrow morning. It'll probably be there in tonight at some point. And then again, as soon as you get it, accept the invite. And then that way, I think with Captain Oreo, if he's going to be in as well, we're only going to need 3 people. And those 3 spots will fill up very, very quickly, especially if I do a post tomorrow. So it looks like we have 7 that are in, and we're only going to need 3 more spots. And a lot of y'all are the regulars. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Seattle Mariners 5, Tampa Bay Rays 1, and I'm out. Okay.